All right, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury still could be next. I think they said that Anthony Joshua could be back May or June. All right, they said they could be back in May or June. I mean, they still want to do the Fury fight. You got guys like Zane says that the fight means absolutely nothing right now. I don't think it absolutely means nothing, but it doesn't nearly mean it's what it really would have meant to British boxing, and that's just what it is. Deontay Wilder was a guy that fumbled an opportunity. When Anthony Joshua, to fully bring back U.S. boxing. Anthony Joshua also fumbled an opportunity to conquer U.S. boxing. You have people say, well, why does America have to be so important? It's the most lucrative market. It is where the International Boxing Hall of Fame is at. That's the wild thing about it. That's where that's at. So it's very important. I mean, he could have made more money than he ever could have made over here, and America was ready to anoint him. Yeah, America was ready to anoint him as, you know, they was ready to anoint him as, next up. That was the crazy thing about it. They was ready to anoint him as, it was acknowledging him at the basketball games and everything, and he did some promos with Kevin Hart and The Rock, and he was next up. But unfortunately, he lost to Andy Ruiz. He really didn't want to come to America, and he was happy being a big fish in a small pond. So that's one of the reasons why the Joshua Wilder fight didn't really fucking happen. Al Heyman always think his fighters are the main attraction. And then you had, Anthony Joshua, who really didn't want to come to America at all. I'm going to train in America, and then what did he do? Train with Derrick James for a second. And all of a sudden, what happened? What happened? Oh, he fired Derrick James smoother than anybody in history has fired a guy, and started working with the dude that trained Ben Davison, that trained Tyson Fury and Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? He started working with him. He started working with him. Wow, right? He started working with him. He started working with him. So, yeah, you find a lot of that hilarious. So it was mutual on both sides. They didn't want to fight each other. The feeling was mutual. Looking in hindsight. The feeling was mutual. Mutual. So it is what it is. It was mutual. But now, this is one of them Al Heyman specials. What do Al Heyman give us the most? Fights past their prime. Fights past their absolute fucking prime. We even hear talks about, Hurd and Charlo finally fighting, Jamel Charlo. Like, dude, nobody wants to see that. But it says Joshua, eyes, excuse me, May or June return aims for first Fury clash. I mean, they might as well. They might as well. They might as well. They might as well do it. So Eddie Hearn says Joshua will fight May or June, start training camp in January. By then, the former two-time heavyweight champion, 28, 4, and 25 big KOs, will have his fourth month of rest to recuperate from his fifth round knockout loss to IBF champion Dan Du Bois, September 21st. Hearn states that Joshua 35 will fight twice in 2025, which he hopes will be against Tyson Fury for two bouts. If not, a rematch of Du Bois. AJ still wants to avenge his loss, but first, the agenda is Fury if he doesn't retire. He said in May or June he's not fully trained, not in full training yet. He's probably ready to resume training in January. Said he heard on NFL TV about when Anthony Joshua will fight next. At the moment, we've got the boys against Joseph Parker February 22nd. If you got to see what Fury wants to do. We're not terrible in a terrible rush. AJ will fight twice in 2025, once in the summer and once in the winter. If we can't make the Du Bois fight, and if Fury don't want to fight, then you have to make the decision to fight somebody, or do you wait for those fights? I can't speak on the behalf of AJ for what he's prepared to fight. Well, who's he prepared to fight? But what I know is that he's focused on Du Bois and Fury. Of course, he's Joshua done it all. If he gets Fury on his resume, he boxed virtually everybody of his era. Virtually. You know how he said virtually? No, he didn't box Deontay Wilder. That was the main fight. You can't erase that from he can. Well, he fought 90%. Really feel like 10% because you didn't fight the main guy. And at the end of the day, I mean, the Fury fight is very interesting at this point. I still would want to see it, honestly. But do you get tired of going through these situations and where a lot of these, we get in these fights that we don't want past their prime? I told y'all, marinate is an excuse for never wanting the fight never happening. And then when both fighter stock is at its lowest and they can't squeeze no more juice out of that lemon or out of that orange, what do? Now it's time to make the fight that y'all wanted to see 10 years ago, 7 years ago. So So I just feel that just get it out the way. Still a little, juice in that lemon. But honestly, they gotta start making these fights when they first get hot. Let's try something different. Let's make these fights when they first get hot out the oven. Hopefully Kid Austin is starting the movement. Let's just get this shit out the way. And hopefully if he wins or loses, or if he loses, you could turn around and say, if he wins, you could turn around and say, hey, man, he got it. If he loses, then he turn around and still have a great career. It was a great learning experience. Most people, in the way his father looking at it, Shakur can't really hurt us physically. But I done seen Mayweather take a lot of dudes, heart, without really physically hurting them. So, but, nonetheless, it is what it is. But I just feel like, yeah, do the fight. Get this shit over with. British boxing should have been had this fight. I know Fury went away. They should have been had the Deontay Wilder fight. That fight should have been done. But like I said, these promoters, for whatever reason it is, they don't want to make big fights. They must be making a whole bunch of money on the back end or somewhere else for these big fights not to happen, because that means more money for them. What you holding out for? AJ lost a few times and still came back, and people still love him. But the Du Bois rematch, the way Du Bois destroyed him, if he didn't have no injury in camp or nothing like that, I wouldn't bark up that tree right now. But Du Bois just came in and crushed him. There were rumors that Du Bois and him were sparring, were doing some things in sparring, and Du Bois got down on him. So that's why Du Bois was so confident, because he had dominated him in sparring. So that's where his confidence came from. So, and I think one of the reasons why Shakur Stevenson can't get no fight, because he sparred everybody. So, it get to a point where you can spar too many people, you can spar too much. People know how good you are, you know what I'm saying? Or you gave somebody look at your style, they already got a little look at your style already. And now they know your style, so they got to drop on your style. So yeah, man. I would just say chill. Too much sparring is probably not the best thing. Um, but hey, it is what it is, right? Um, in my opinion, I feel like I did more videos than I did today. But yeah, hopefully it happens, for the boxing fans and for the UK. I think it will happen. But Fury love money. And maybe he by beating Joshua to put him in position to get the boys, or it might put him in a position that might put him in position to get a Usyk rematch. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And the subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase chance, get notifications. We go live and drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Other than that, man, join the Patreon. Free for 7 days. Peace.